Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Mickey G. What's up?
Hello, Golden Bronze.
Hello, hello, Ashton. How are you today?
I'm doing good, and you?
I am good. Thank you. Thank you,
Good,
everybody.
good,
We
great.
have with us a special Olympian. Her name is Ashton Smith. She is a 37-year-old champion swimmer from Fort Worth who competed in the Special Olympics World Games. Ashton used to say things like, I want the best for myself. It means a lot to me. Sports gives me self esteem and desire each day. In 2018, Ashton Smith won multiple medals, including gold in the 100-meter butterfly at the Special Olympics national competition in Seattle. A subsequent interview went viral with Ashton. She says, no matter what this disability I have, I will not let society dictate to me what I cannot do. That's what she told ESPN. Smith,
Yeah.
whose story of resilience in the face of homelessness has been documented by both local and national media, she has been a vocal critic in recent months of the organization's financial assistance policies. Smith was homeless when she first arrived in Fort Worth over 10 years ago. She since found subsidized housing, but she says it's difficult on a fixed income for her to afford equipment and travel expenses. Now, that's when she was in the Olympics. Smith's interest in swimming started at the Waxahachie
Walks action.
YMCA. Her experience in the pool led her to compete on the Waxahachie High School swim team from 2001 to 2004, during which time she earned 4 district medals. Smith, who is blind in one eye, counts her strokes as she swims to keep track of her distance from the pool's wall. This also helps with depth perception. She said doctors have told her that if she were to attempt to correct her vision, the procedure would kill her. It does a lot for her, as she said, as an adult with a disability, because there are not many things that you are accepted in. She says, uh, with individual sports like swimming, if you're good enough, you will be accepted if you're disabled, no matter what. That is what swimming has provided for her as an outlet. She says pretty much all year round to do things and go places. It has provided her a lot of opportunities and even to go to countries that she had never dreamed of. At the World Games, Smith competed in the 100-yard and 200-yard individual medley, the 100-yard butterfly, the 100-yard freestyle, and a relay. She says her goal is to make sure that she is an example to African Americans and minorities to show them that they can do whatever it is that they want to do. It is an honor, she says, to represent her country. The biggest honor will be uh, to hear the national anthem played. It's something that she has never been a part of. Smith lost her mother in 2022. She had some struggles along the way while being an athlete in the Special Olympics, but has moved on to greener pastures. She is an author, an athlete, and also has her own LLC. I can tell you also that she desires to be a public speaker. We've talked about that on many occasions. These are all the positive things that she's doing in her life to overcome her adversity. You can find anything about Ashton Smith on Google and YouTube. Mickey G?
Awesome. Well, you can hear our show on Global Networks on Mondays, EWO at 10 a.m. Powered by Zeno FM with additional monitoring through online radio box on the following stations: Culture Shock Radio, Canada; Radio Fercio, Mexico; Rockbox FM, USA; and Wapter Music FM, Guadalupe. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone, please welcome former Special Olympian Ashton Smith.
Yay! Welcome, Ashton. Welcome, welcome,
Welcome, everybody.
welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. How are you guys? In this, nice day, temperatures right now, Dallas, Fort Worth, 75 degrees Dallas Fort Worth. Winds are nice out of the south. Feels good along the Gulf Coast of Texas. Feels good right now. Weather's nice. Sun in the
Right, I'm
sky.
in Dallas. I'm in Dallas, so I agree with you. So, Ashton, tell us about how you got started swimming in the first place. Tell us a little bit about that.
My grandmother gave permission for me to be able to swim. That's the first start. And without her permission, I wouldn't be able to do it. I picked up a flyer though that I saw somewhere. I picked it up, grabbed that flyer, took it home, and essentially I did field day when I was a kid. They had field day in the 90s and stuff where you could play sports and things. So I did field day with the Special Olympics, and then I would do swimming, you know what I'm saying, in the afternoons with the YMCA.
Okay.
And that's how I got started as far as a child, and just learning and having that encouragement to say, yes, I can do anything. My grandmother told me the same thing. She said, what I want for you is to be able to work and do all that you can to promote what it is that you're good at. Even when I was a child, I promoted what I was good at. And these things are important. My grandmother was the stepping stone for me to be able to participate in the Special Olympics, to be able to participate in the YMCA. And from adulthood to childhood, from childhood to adulthood, you begin to understand that as you grow in this life, you begin to make it and make something out of yourself. And I did swimming because I didn't want to become a statistic. Texas leads the nation in drowning, I believe, still today. There were a couple of statistics where we didn't, but Texas, leads the nation in drowning. And there aren't too many African Americans in swimming. There's only about 1% of us. But if there wasn't a grandmother on my family, it would be tough. And the YMCA, put their arms around me and encouraged me, even as a person with a disability. I competed against people who had no disabilities, by the way, at the YMCA. I was probably the only one with a disability. Let's be real. Most people there did not have a disability. So I actually started out competing against people who had no disabilities.
Wow.
And then the Special Olympics, because there was no place for swimmers. So I had to swim against people in the UIL. We're talking about people, getting ready to go to college and, that kind of stuff. And this is one of the hardest states to be a swimmer. This is a hard state to be a Black swimmer. There aren't too many like us.
Wow.
At all. There was a Black swimmer that inspired me as well, who was in this past Olympics. I can't think of her name, but she was the only African American. And I thought, okay, this could have been me. In my life, I just ended up in the wrong type of Olympics. You have three type of Olympics. You got the real Olympics, the Paralympics, and you have the Special Olympics, which is not the real Olympics. I actually call that the fake Olympics because you're not recognized for what you do in that program, is why I say that.
Well, tell us
you're
what
not recognized.
Go
ahead.
Tell us what the Paralympics are.
The Paralympics, of course, if you have a disability or if you're missing a limb or other disabilities, people can participate, but they're allowed to get endorsements. They're allowed to sign contracts, agreements. They're allowed to do commercials. The real Olympics, the same thing, but in the fake Olympics, the Special Olympics, you're not allowed to get anything. The only thing that you're allowed to get are medals like this. And I won all of these.
Wow.
Okay, over the decades, I have another bag like this too of medals. And a lot of these during the pandemic, they ended up sold because my mother died. I had to, do what I needed to do to live. I'm disabled. You don't get paid in the Special Olympics. So all memorabilia and stuff I'm selling and getting rid of because you have to pay your bills and you're not allowed to get endorsements nor make money off your image while being in the Special Olympics. That's something that people don't know. It is a program that, yes, they have good things behind it. Yes, it does great things for people. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be essentially exploited to make money so that someone else can live their dreams while I'm told to live on the streets or be homeless or whatever. And I suffered with that. My story actually ended up on NBC5, but having a visual impairment, I've had that all of my life, and had to struggle finding jobs. I live in a right to work state where people, let's be real, don't want to hire people with disabilities. They may not tell you that to your face because that's against the law. But I actually had a man tell me one time, because I'm disabled, I'm a walking liability. And I said, if I'm a walking liability, then why am I on this earth for? I told the dude, I said, if I have no purpose for being here, then why was I born? And he essentially was like, he didn't want to. I mean, this is Texas. You can't go cry to the state because they can fire you for any reason and stuff here.
Right.
And so you don't have rights in Texas to fight for jobs. You don't have that right, especially if you're disabled like me, you either have to start your own business or fight for a job. And for me, you get tired of fighting. I did start an LLC because you're not allowed to have LLCs, businesses, or books while being in the Special Olympics. You're not allowed to have anything that can make you money, such as land, real estate, vehicles, not allowed.
So when you were in the Special Olympics, how did you support yourself? What form of income did you have coming in at the same time that you were in the Special Olympics, traveling the world?
My grandmother and my family, and those people are no longer here. So I know for me, I can't continue to do stuff when I'm sitting here with dead relatives, no mother, no father, no family, nobody. Right. Nobody's gonna come help a 40-year-old person. My family, yes, they love me, and if something happened, yes, they would help me. But it's not their responsibility to keep a roof over my head. I'm gonna say that one more time. Right. I'm 40 years old, and it's not up to grown adults to keep a roof over my head. And the Special Olympics told me essentially the same thing, that they didn't care if I lived or died. I was called 3/5 of a person. You can Google Special Olympics, Texas Confederate flag. I'm not even labeled as a person in their program. My life is worth nothing to them. The only thing that's worth something to them is my talent. I'm going to say that one more time. My life is not worth anything to people in their program, but my talents are.
Well, Ashton, tell us a little bit about your experiences while in the Special Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in that program, it was very difficult. Yes, I enjoyed going to the games. So there was some constructive criticism, because it's not about just bashing their program. There's something called constructive criticism. I gave all that I could in that program. I gave well over 8 hours a day, 7 days a week to that program to perfect what I was doing. And I played 5 different sports: basketball, a sport called bocce, swimming, powerlifting, and track and field. That's 5 sports. So that's 5 different things that I'm having to do training on to perfect this stuff. Powerlifting, especially, you have to have serious training or else you can hurt yourself. Right? So these are things the Special Olympics does not care. I've had shoulder injuries while being in their program. I've had concussions while being in their program. I ended up actually going to the hospital. And I actually have that recording where I was tackled, and Special Olympics accused me of making that up. But yet I have video proof that I was tackled to the ground during a flag football game. It's flag, not tackle. And so at the end of the day, in this program, yes, there's a lot of things that I won. Yes, I won gold medals. I'm happy about that. But I'm not happy about how things turned out after that program. That's that make sense?
Yes. Would you like to elaborate on that a little bit? It's totally up to you.
Yeah, because there we go. Yeah. And I tell people, this is not about bashing the Special Olympics. I am an adult. And after that program, I came home to poverty. I came home to nothing. Nobody knew your name, like that song, Everybody Knows Your Name. No one knew my name when I came home. And it really broke my heart, because here I am giving my all, and I come home to nothing. And, I've had to take jobs moving furniture and do dangerous work. I've done jobs in my life that could kill me. The Special Olympics does not care if I die tomorrow, because all they care about is money, 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 and not our well-being. Tim Martin, Everett King, and Dalton Hill came to my home September 18th, 2019, and essentially told me to not come back, because I went to the Fort Worth police about abuse and what happened to me in that program by another athlete. I was essentially told by their program that I'm not allowed to talk to, communicate, with police, personnel, or others who do not work for the Special Olympics, including attorneys, or law enforcement. The letter that I got from them essentially at the bottom told me to keep stuff in-house, which is the same thing they told me verbally when they surrounded me that night, September 18, 2019, and told me to never come back to their program.
So can you elaborate on the kinds of things that you went through in that program?
Yes. I dealt with verbal abuse. I've had nooses waved in my face. I've had people threaten to shoot me or kill me in that program. My life has not have been of value. I've tried to talk to coaches and others who sponsor them, including Frost Bank. I let that bank know that I was coerced in assigning a loan, an agreement that I didn't benefit from. I told them that they have ruined my credit and my life, and I'm tired of it. You get tired of telling institutions and places that sponsor these people that you're being taken advantage of. And Frost Bank essentially told me, I let them know, okay, well then bye. Okay, I'm gone. And so because I filed a complaint with the CFBP, they kicked me out. Okay, bye. You're not the only bank in town. I don't care about being kicked out of a bank. They allowed a crime to happen to me. And I told them if I can get my hands on a news station, I'm going to go to NBC5 or one of these news stations out here in Dallas, because I'm tired of being abused by staff and people in the Special Olympics. And I'm told to shut up about crimes committed against me, whether criminal or civil. I had a crime committed against me when I'm coerced as a visually impaired person with no parents, no family, nobody present. And I'm told to sign documents and take to these people to pay for food and hotels, which I'm legally not supposed to be paying for.
That's why you were in the Special Olympics?
Yeah, and they give millions of dollars in sponsorships from rich white and black people who run their program. Everett King is a black person like me and didn't say nothing when I dealt with abuse in that program.
So I think what I understand you're saying is that people in the Special Olympics have to finance their own expenses and travel and food and everything to represent America, but they're not compensated whatsoever.
And it's illegal. It's pay to play. It's like if you study the college students that went after the NCAA, Rice or whoever just got his trophy back, the running back for USC, because they use these people to make money. No, I want to make money too. And I want to do everything to contact the news and radio stations, because I shouldn't be sitting here being nickel and dime for $188 million made off of me and other people. And we're told to shut up about it. And there is something called a fundraising kit. Oh yes, kit. We are forced to raise money for their program and not wire it in our accounts. When I had to go fund me, let's be real, they made me take it down and told me I wasn't.
They're getting money for the Special Olympics, but you guys are funding it on your own.
Yep, and it's illegal. It's been illegal for 51 years. It is an illegal operation. I studied it. It's like I didn't go there to just play. Once I got an adult, I studied it. And it is a program that exploits people equivalent to Bernie Madoff. In other words, they tell the public outwardly, right, through marketing that we're helping the athletes, but inwardly we're being exploited. Some people are exploited sexually. You can read that article, Special Olympics, Texas Confederate flag. I was reading that article in 2019. I was reading that. Special Olympics exploits people in any and every way possible. And if you dare speak out about it, you're kicked out and excoriated. If you dare go up against their sponsors like Frost Bank kicks you out because they give them money too. They give them money.
I'm just confused why they're getting money, but you guys have to support your own selves.
Thank you.
It's illegal. And if you don't have a job and you are disabled, how do you get a loan?
They make us. I have good credit, so. You know what I'm saying? I work anyway because the government told me I had the right to work. So I didn't give a damn about the Special Olympics. I went out and worked and moved furniture or whatever. I didn't give a damn because, excuse my language, but I'm sorry, but that's just what it was. I didn't care because I need to eat. I need to live. I need to survive. And I live in this beautiful place because I wanted to work. and want to take care of myself. Nobody wants to live on disability for the rest of their lives. I don't.
Right.
So let me ask you, did I hear you say that you had to fundraise for the Special Olympics? And
Yep,
if
and I had to
that's
take.
and how did you go about doing that? What was required?
I had to take out money to pay for food and hotels. I had to take out loan agreements to essentially pay my own way. Somebody else helped me with what they could, but at the end of the day, it's illegal. And these people essentially ruined my life. And you know what I mean? And I had to at that time file bankruptcy because my parents, my mom died and stuff. And I'm sitting here being laughed at by the Special Olympics and their staff because my life doesn't matter to these people. And they told me that verbally that they don't care if I die. I had an athlete. Yeah,
So
I had an athlete. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, so you had to take out loans in order to eat, in order to take care of yourself. So you were an adult, a full adult, and there are younger people who are in there. Everyone's required to take out loans. Are there other ways that you had to make money?
Their parents are required to pay for it, and the school district pays for it. So they nickel and dime these school districts too. So it's not just me; it's the school districts that they go in these schools like a recruitment tool, and they use people.
So, like, I'm gonna ask the same question Nikki did, just a little differently. The underage children and the adults all have to sponsor themselves by getting loans to represent the United States of America at the Special Olympics, and you come back with debt and a bag of gold medals.
Yep, right here. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this up, right? This is all I got. And I sold a lot of these during the pandemic because I told my family, I'm gonna do everything I can. And I even told somebody a long time ago, I said, bro, I'm in a position in my life at that time. I told the dude that I was willing to die for what I wanted in my life. That's what I told a man, because I told him I wanted that job. And I was he said, you're hired. I got hired moving furniture the next day because the dude I ain't never heard nobody say they're willing to die to never go back to being homeless. Let's be real, y'all. There were times, I don't even know if I should, there was times that I thought about taking my own life. I'm gonna say it one more time.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
There are times that I have thought about taking my own life.
Ashton, don't ever do that.
Because you're forced to sleep outside. I've had to sleep outside as a female. I've had to like do a lot in my life to live. You got women out here in Dallas Fort Worth selling their bodies to live. I'm up here selling these at the time to live. And it's sad that I have to sit here with all the talent that God gave me. Yes. God didn't put me here for my talent to be wasted away for somebody else to enrich themselves off of me in my life. And I say this honestly with all of my heart, that I should never have to sit here and come home to nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And come home and know that a man should not have to take care of you when I'm 6'3" and built like one, but I'm up here at the time having my hands out asking a man to take care of me. And that's embarrassing.
Yes.
Well,
to have to ask somebody, a grown dude, to take care of you. And that is not a man's responsibility to take care of nobody.
It really is, though. But that's a whole different podcast. If that's your man.
I'm talking about a stranger. Like, it's not a random man responsibility.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just come into a man's life and then drop your problems on him.
That's true, honey.
You know what I'm saying? The person that is in my life right now, the dude is like, the biggest thing is, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend in the Special Olympics. Not allowed. So it's like you end up going mentally insane. I had to take counseling because I thought I was gonna have a nervous breakdown and end up 6 foot under.
Well, let me
Because
say
I'm
this.
told
We're
that I'm
gonna.
not allowed to marry. You're not allowed to marry people in the Special Olympics. At least that's what you're told verbally. I'm not allowed to have a boyfriend. My boyfriend wasn't allowed to go on trips with me. I was called gay in that program by athletes and made fun of. I've had food. Somebody threw food at me one time. Like, I'm a grown ass adult getting food thrown at me because people think that I'm gay, and I'm not. I've always been made fun of all of my life for the way I dress, for this or that. And I was made fun of in the Special Olympics by an athlete, and she said N words. And I'll tell you what she said: niggers can't swim.
My
That's
God.
And
ignorance. That's
Yeah,
total
that's
ignorance.
totally.
I
Yeah.
swim like a fish, and so do you. So
you know what I'm saying? And it's like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm sorry about my language and all of that, but this hurts when I gave
yeah,
25 years or more of my life, and all I have is medals and a trophy over there that's now a doorstop.
I'm
I have
really
a trophy.
sorry.
I have a trophy that ended up as a
My goodness.
doorstop, because I'm not celebrating anything. Like, only thing I celebrate is this bus stop right here. Stuff that actually were people. I have a bus stop in my name. Not allowed to have a bus stop in your name in the Special Olympics. Not allowed to work with city officials or anybody. Not allowed to work with anybody that's dealing with anything political. You're not allowed to protest or march. Not allowed. I got in trouble when Colin Kaepernick kneeled. I was told not to do that. I was told I don't have rights to do anything.
Now I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Well, that's another podcast too. I started to say people
Yeah.
do worse things with the flag than kneel in front of one, but we won't go there.
Well,
Ashton,
we'll
Yeah.
keep the 100. All I know is, yeah, people have burned the flag, whatever. At the end of the day, all I know is I should have the right to protest, regardless of what it's for. And every time I do the right thing, I get in trouble for it. Like I told Frost Bank, I don't deserve to be kicked out of a bank when I told y'all that I'm not responsible for a loan, that I didn't benefit from it. And I'm sitting
Right.
here telling these people I have excellent credit, but yet I can't use my credit or participate in the American dream because you're not allowed to. Not allowed.
yeah.
Not allowed to do anything in their program to benefit yourself. And you wonder why people like me are just trying to hold it together. And I've even asked God, why do you have me here for? If all I'm here for is being used to make money for other people. And God said, dun, 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 you're not here for that. God told me, fight, 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 fight in the justice system. And that's where I'm headed. I'm hoping to hit the court because I don't,
And
I'm
you
tired.
have a voice. Now you have a voice, and I'm so glad that you're using your voice to speak your truth in this. So I'm curious if anyone has offered to advocate on your behalf or on Special Olympians' behalf. Is there a movement? Is there anything that's going on for the behalf
Yes.
of the athletes?
One of my friends, Mr. J, other folks, I haven't talked to anybody in the Special Olympics because um I'm looking at taking them to court. When, I don't know, but we're gonna be getting that going. So, but I know that good things are coming down. I also talked to a lady who is working with me. She told me to get back with her later at the end of the month because she's wanting to research my story. She works with a management company. So I told her excellent, and I'm letting her, do her thing. There are people looking at me, and I want to be hired. I want a booking agency, management company, people who understand, yeah, I have a story. And that if you have a company and you have the dollars and capability of hiring a public speaker, hire me. And that's another thing. I've been speaking for 25 years. I'm done doing that for free. I don't pay just.
I want to say, I want to move into that
Yes.
and talk about what it is, Ashton, that you aspire to do. Let's go to a different topic.
Right on.
Topic. Tell us what your aspirations and future goals are. And this kind of gives you a platform to make that plea, because we're going to be in 4 other countries besides the United States.
Wow. So. Okay. Well, for me, I really want you guys to know public speaking is my game. Public speaking is what I want to do. I'm an author, 4-time gold medalist, an athlete. I'm an author, 4-time gold medalist, and athlete, and I want to be able to hewn all of these areas together on social media. I want to be able to monetize my image on social media, get verified on all platforms so that I look professional. Those who are able to hire me, you can also Google me, Ashton Smith Special Olympics, and you can also contact me on Facebook as well. Google Ashton Smith, and you will see me as well on Facebook or Golden Ashton. So you folks Google me and find me on Facebook or other social media, including TikTok under Golden Ashton. So either way, you'll find me on there, or just Google Ashton Smith Special Olympics, and you'll see everything. And so being able to tell people what I hope and what my dreams are, it's very, very important. Public speaking, if done right with a company, like I told that lady, I said, I'm going to do everything you tell me to do because she can get you paid or he can get you paid. I'm also working with a friend of mine, Annie. Annie is a good friend over in England. He's trying to look at opportunities for me as well because he works in several countries. These are things that I want, and I'm willing to travel, as long as it pays. Like I told somebody, I don't want to be standing on the side of the road trying to raise money for a flight. I might as well go work a regular job. I'm not doing that. I do not pay anymore to speak on TV or radio stations. That's how I ended up in the position I did in the first place, by paying to go speak places, and that does not benefit me. So what I want is a real solid opportunity to be hired in the task that I am good at. TV and radio, I've done that as well. I was featured on 97.9 The Beat and ESPN as well, NBC5 and Swim Slam magazine, to say the least, and others. So I am really, really excited for you guys to find out more articles about me, or look up Living Blue in Texas and read more about my situation. I am so excited if you folks reach out to me. You can also email me at ashton1049@gmail.com, ashton1049@gmail.com, and email me today. I am very, very excited, guys, for folks to reach out to me and contact me through those channels, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to speak at whatever event you guys have going on. Let's get ready to rock and roll. A lot of stuff I don't speak on, political stuff, because the times we live in. Faith-based stuff I will speak on in southern states, or where allowed, right? Because there are some states that they don't talk about faith-based. So southern states or the Bible Belt or where allowed. But political stuff, that is just too divisive right now. And those are the only things I don't talk about, is religion and politics, because those are divisive right now. But other than that, I'll talk about whatever you want. Anything dealing with race, I'll also talk about as well, where allowed, because some places they don't want to hear about race. But I'll talk about whatever subject where allowed, as long as I'm safely and able to talk about it. I don't mind doing it. Amen.
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 Amen. And I tell you what, you're very articulate.
Yes.
And you should not have any problem getting speaking events. I think I've seen you on Instagram speaking at different churches around the DFW area. And so you're very good at that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm excited
because God finds a place for people, and I say this wholeheartedly, because there's a lot of people out here that feel like, what's my purpose? I felt like that last year. I don't anymore, because God told me this year what my purpose was. My purpose is not working at McDonald's, right? Or whatever you want to fill in the blank. Your purpose is to be a public and motivational speaker and author. Because I've had people all of my life tell me, well, you talk too much. Well, if I talk too much, then let me refine this as a talent, because this is going to give me paid, and this is going to open the windows up for me to be able to move up in life. Am I grateful for what I have today? Yes. So I don't want people to think that I'm complaining about my life or what is going on. I'm grateful for what I have today.
Amen.
But this beautiful place, right, did not come without sleeping outside, right? So when you go from sleeping outside and your stuff in a black trash bag to living in a place that's 1,500 square foot, the 2 rooms and 2 bathrooms and a male on the side of man, it's a blessing, because I wasn't allowed to have a man, and I wasn't allowed to have my own place. And so you're not allowed to have your own place, not allowed to have any of that stuff while you're in the Special Olympics, because they just think that you're going to use anything to enrich yourself. It's not allowed. And so I want people to know the side of that, but understand there's constructive criticism to it. Yes, did they do good things for me in my life? Absolutely. Did I get experiences and stuff that I enjoyed? Absolutely. So I want people to understand there was some good stuff that also benefited me out of the Special Olympics. I learned social skills. I learned working with people who are different from me. I learned different things about people and how they live, cultures, all that stuff. So I learned all of that. But when you extrapolate all of that stuff, the word extrapolate means put together in composition. At the end of the day, all of that stuff that comes together like that there, you understand this is what happens, but I'm moving forward with everything that God put me here on this earth for. Yes, the Special Olympics offer this foundation, but this isn't the be all of my life. I also started an LLC, and I'm grateful for that. That also gives me the legal binding right to be hired by a company. That means I can operate, and that means I can be hired not as an individual, but I can be hired by multiple companies under state and federal law. The federal government in the United States gives all people the ability and right to have a job if comparable or able to do so. This is the federal and state laws in various states across the country. So if you are fighting for the right to work, or if you are in a state today where you can unionize, contact your union near you and look that up. UAW or other auto unions unionize across the United States to fight for the right of workers and the small man. This is the reason why unions exist today, so that people like me can somehow maybe even unionize. That may put a stop to the Special Olympics if I got behind a union. At the end of the day, these are rights that we all hold dear and rights that we must fight for. And that's the right that I know I have to stand up for the right to work, stand up for the right to make a living, and stand up for the right to have money in my pocket. It doesn't mean that I'm being greedy, because I want people to understand that it's not about being greedy, because I started from nothing. God said I'm here to get something. God didn't put me here to be nothing. Amen.
Amen.
And everyone. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Goldenrod.
I was just going to say that because you have an LLC, you also have the right to have multiple companies up under that one LLC to do multiple different things. In case you didn't know that, you do.
I didn't know that. Now look at it. We learned. We need that. We learn something every day.
Yeah, we do.
For you to collaborate with multiple companies, businesses, personnel, and alike. So that'll help me. And that is why I don't operate as an individual. That way people can't bind me by law and contracts or agreements that I don't want to be in. This is why my folks taught me what they taught me, to operate not as a person, but operate as a business. This way people can't legally tie you down. This is the stuff they don't teach you in the Special Olympics. This is stuff
they don't teach you this in school, baby. They don't teach you this in school.
No.
This is stuff my grandmother told me. She said, go out here. If they're not going to give you something, meaning a job, then you have to get out here and create your own. And so if God is telling you whether you believe in God or not, society gives you the ability outside of the Special Olympics to be able to make the money that you need to make. And when the federal government told me what the federal law was, I'm going to go out here and work all the days of my life because the law says that I can do that. And so these are things that now that I know I have an LLC, that means I can work with multiple companies. And that is the beauty about that. And that's why I started one. And that is the reason you're not allowed to have LLCs in the Special Olympics, because they don't want you working with other companies, people, or partners. That's why you're not allowed to have.
I love your fire. I love your passion about this cause. I'm so inspired by you. And your
I'm sorry about crying on your call, but that part was emotional, and it just took me back to that year when I was sleeping outside.
Yeah, but if people can't cry, that means they're not human. If they're not human, they can't accept your story. They can't feel what you're feeling. And everyone is entitled to dignity. You want a life of dignity where you can just be proud of what you do. And so I love your fire that you bring this information. There's no doubt you're going to go far.
I know I am. And with the right help and people behind me saying, okay, you can do this, you can achieve. And that is what it's about. And that is what I've always said. Now that I have an LLC, you can do anything that you want to do when people are ready to hire you. I'm ready to be hired, and I'm ready to move on from the Special Olympics legally, ethically, and under the law. And LLC gave me the right to do that, and the federal government gave me the green light to get hired, meaning, you know, from the age of 18, I've always had jobs. I've always had these things, but I didn't tell the Special Olympics because you're not allowed to. But I worked anyway and had jobs anyway because my parents died and I have to take care of myself. I'm never going to let a business or corporation tell me that I'm not allowed to do something. I did not sign a conservatorship with the Special Olympics, okay? And I did not sign an NDA. These are two documents in the United States that could either hold you or keep certain rights from you and things like this. I just suggest people look up NDA and look up conservatorships and stuff like that, or even look up documents where they talk about rights of people or how rights can be taken from people in certain crises. But at the end of the day, if you're not in a crisis, then you have the right to live, you have the right to be, and you have the right to be left alone or be free. In America, you have the right to do both, be left alone and be free. And you have the right to bear arms in the United States. Not allowed to do that in the Special Olympics. Not allowed to talk about owning a gun. Not allowed to talk about owning anything that can help you in your life. So these are things I want people to know. Society has been good to me, and society is willing to help me. And these are things that I know. Society is not the Special Olympics, so I want to parse that down the middle, right? Society is different. Society will give me all the opportunities that I need now that I am no longer a part of the Special Olympics. I believe now people want to come in my life, and I believe that people want to hire me, not fire me, hire me, because they know.
And with that being said, I'm sure that that is going to happen for you. I appreciate everything that you shared with us today. I'm so glad to hear you say you did not sign an NDA because I'm sitting here thinking, can I even?
That's what I was going to ask you about your book.
I'm going to give you a chance to do that. I'm glad to hear you say that you did not sign an NDA because I was thinking, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to even air this? But after listening to your story, I am sure that you will get some calls. You gave all your information. You're very articulate. You're very intelligent, and you're a Christian, and God orders your footsteps. And so you had to go through everything that you had to go through to get you where you are today. And that's not just you, that's all of us. Our journeys in life are stamped the day that we come out, the day we're born. God already knows what we're going to go through, and he's going ahead of you. He's ordered your footsteps, and he's walking ahead of you. So your path is made clear. Go ahead and pitch your book, and then I'm going to close it.
And I want to tell you, I'm glad. I always try to say that on podcasts and things because people do ask me if I've signed stuff like that. No, and that's the beautiful thing about having an LLC. Absolutely not. This is my book, and this is what the book looks like. Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. And it's got important stuff on the back right here. Folks can read. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. I tried to get the light there. That is some of the things that I will speak on. So if you are and want to hire me as a speaker, I will speak on these wonderful subjects that you see listed here on the back of my book. The reason I named my book Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream is because essentially in my life, it seemed like I was swimming upstream, but I was living a fake dream, meaning I never prospered or benefited from the dreams that I had of being in the Olympics. My yearbook once said, most likely to go to the Olympics. That was me, and I actually still have that picture of me lifting weights, most likely to go to the Olympics. This is the book that's mine, and then this is the book that I was featured in something called an anthology. So if you folks want to do anthologies or things like this, right? Anthologies are important because they help you collaborate with other people. That's a nice book, right? And this lady here, great lady, and she put me in her anthology, and I'm really, really proud to be in this anthology. And it looks nice. I mean, this is a great, great picture of me. This is so great. Look at that. Kind of in black and white, but look at that.
Yes, that's good.
Look at you.
Yes.
So God is good every day, and I want to say shout out and thank you to the Spa and Pool Association. This company right here, they are absolutely fantastic, and we talk about drowning prevention, and a bunch of other things. So I am really, really excited. This is what their poster looks like. Great, great poster there. They did a really, really good job. And I'm grateful for this company that sponsored me when it came to events I did. So guys, I'm very grateful, and I'm glad I was able to feature my book. Thank you guys.
And where can they buy the book? Where can they purchase
They can buy this book on Amazon and Walmart. This book is Amazon and Walmart, Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. And we also have a digital copy. So if you just have a tablet or they call it an ebook, you can download that, and we'll be hopefully making some updates to all of this as well. But I'm really, really excited. But yes, if you want an ebook, that is, I believe, $2.99, and the regular paper book like this is $15. So absolutely, folks, I'm really glad that I came here today. There was some emotion, but I'm really glad.
We're so glad that you came as well. And you know what? Don't worry about the emotion. The thing about our podcast is it is laid back. We make oopses, we make mistakes, things happen, but the audio part of this is fine. And
sorry about the language too. I normally try to keep it SEC, friendly, because I don't know how this stuff is put together. But if it is SEC, just beep all that out. When does this air? When will this air on the...
Let me tell you, Ashton, we'll talk about that offline, but let me just tell you this. There are podcasts where they have much worse language than what we've heard here today that airs on the radio and on YouTube. And I know you've seen some of them. You're fine. We like we like the authenticity, the transparency. We like the fact that we are just three women sitting in a room having a conversation for the world to hear. So it's all good. If we didn't use perfect language, that's fine. If we made some oops and mistakes, that's the whole part of the whole part of this podcast is to be just down to earth and authentic. And I'm so glad that you took the time out of your day to come and chit chat and gab with Mickey G and I. And I am glad for everybody that's going to be listening to this podcast that you took your time out to listen to Ashton Speak. Ashton Smith Speaks. That's the name of this podcast.
And I want to shout out to my dentist, man. He did a great job. I had a cleaning for him. I'm like over here. Look at
And we want to welcome everybody to watch our podcast, Gab with Golden Bronze, every other week on Saturdays on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. And you can find us on BGN, powered by Zeno FM, with additional monitoring through online radio box beginning May the 20th. Every other week on Mondays at 10 a.m., we will air on Culture Shock Radio, which is in Canada. We'll air in Radio Faciro in Mexico, Wapter Music FM Guadalupe. This is in the Caribbean island near France. And you can also download the BGN app. From the following downloads, you can find it on Apple, iOS, and you can find it on Android. Please download the BGN app so you can listen to Gab with Golden Bronze with Mickey G and all the other wonderful radio podcast stations or channels on BGN Network. We want to thank everybody for coming, and we welcome you back anytime you want to come back and do some public speaking. I know you want this on your resume, so we'll send you the link. So you can add it. And again, I want to thank you once again so very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
It was an honor to meet you. All right, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.